Today we are going to discuss about the drape finish. Drape finishes change the way a fabric falls or hangs over a three-dimensional shape. It may be a human body or it may be any table or the bed. When we use the bedspreads or the table linen, it should also fall properly, not only for the apparel but the drape is necessary for the other for the interior as well. These finishes make the fabric stiffer or more flexible. It will change the way it falls, either into the stiffer or into the more flexible. They usually add chemical compound to the fabric. It means they can be additive or dissolve a portion of the fibers present, already present. It means subtractive finish, both additive and subtractive. Most commonly used drape finishes are transparent and crisp finishes, burnt out effects, sizing or starching, and weighting. These are commonly used drape finishes. Transparent and crisp finishes. Transparent or crisp or the parchment effect. This is called parchment also. Parchment effect in cotton fabric for apparel are produced by treatment with sulfuric acid. This is called parchmentizing. Now, what happened in the past parchmentizing is that acid dissolves cotton. It sulfuric acid it dissolves cotton, so it is a subtractive finish. It is a subtractive process because part of the fabric is going to remove. It must be controlled very carefully. Split second timing is necessary to prevent tendering of the fabric. This is so sensitive process that even a split second timing can cause the fabric tendering, weakening of the fabric, so we have to control it very carefully. Many effects are possible. Uh, there may be the all over, as in the organdy, or localized, or Pilse effect. All over parchmentizing process produce a transparent effect. It is transparent effect. All the fabric will become transparent. Sheared combed lawn is used in the all over parchmentizing. The lawn is first singed to remove the protruding ends, decised size already present in the fabric during the weaving process, bleached for the whiteness, mercerized for increased luster and strength, and of course absorbency. The fabric is then dyed or printed with colors that resist acid damage, because in the parchmentizing the fabric is going to be treated with acid, so it must be dyed or printed with the colors that resist acid damage. Then the fabric is immersed in the acid solution and the fiber surface is partially dissolved. The fiber surface is partially dissolved, not fully dissolved. This surface rehardens as a cellulosic film. It partially dissolves and then reharden into a cellulosic film. And when dry, it is permanently crisp and transparent. Two effects are being obtained. One is the crispness, hardness, and other is the sheerness, transparency. After the acid treatment, the fabric is neutralized in a weak alkali. Of course, whenever we use acids during the finishing processes, it must be neutralized. So here in the parchmentizing, the acid which we used is sulfuric acid, and now what we had to do, we should neutralize the fabric with the weak alkali, then washed and calendared to improve surface gloss. Again calendering to improve surface gloss, and sometimes it is mercerized again to improve transparency. The fabric organdy, which is known for its crispness and transparency, is produced by this all over treatment. In localized parchmentizing, if the design is a small figure with a large transparent area, design is in a small area, and the area which we are going to make transparent is large, then we will apply any acid resistant substance on the figures on the smaller areas, and then the whole fabric will be immersed in the acid bath. After the treatment, the acid resistant areas will retain their original opacity. They will remain solid, they will remain opaque, and the other area which was not printed with the acid resistant substance will be parchmentized, will become transparent. But if we have to make small area, smaller motifs transparent, then acid is printed on in a paste like we do the printing. Acid is printed on in a paste form and then quickly washed off. So these are the three ways in which we can do the parchmentizing to make our fabrics crisp and transparent. Next is burned out effect. Burned out effects are produced by printing a chemical solvent on a blend fabric made of different generic group made of fabrics with different chemical composition. Examples are rayon and polyester, nylon and silk. When we are using the blend, one fiber is usually the more solvent sensitive and is dissolved, leaving shear areas. Now, this is the blend, and when we put it into the acid bath, one fiber is usually more sensitive, and that fiber portion will be dissolved, and in this way it will leave sheer or transparent areas. The fabrics are specifically, intentionally, deliberately made in a way, in a blend, that one fiber is more sensitive, so it can be burned out later during the finishing process of burned out. Fiber combinations are usually either rayon or polyester or nylon and silk. In rayon and polyester, rayon is the fiber which will dissolve, and in nylon and silk, nylon would be dissolved because rayon and silk are more sensitive to the solvents used than the nylon or polyester. Fabrics with this finish can be flat or pile weaves and include burn out. Fabrics with this finish can be flat or pile weaves and include burn out satin and velvet for apparel and window treatment. This finish is also known as etched or givore because part of the fibers are removed by this subtractive finish. Again, burnout finish is subtractive finish because we are removing a portion of the fiber from the fabric. Excuse me. After the solvent has been removed, one of the fibers in the desired areas, the fabric is washed. The waste water must be treated before discarding because it is again having the solvent into it. Some solvents are reclaimed, can be reused, others cannot. But the wastewater should be cleaned. Either we can reclaim or reuse the solvent or not. But before letting that water into the stream, we should treat it and all the solvents should be removed from it. Another way to add drape to the fabric is sizing. In sizing or starching, now sizing is done also as a preparatory method in the before the weaving to the yarns, so it can resist the stress and strains of the weaving process. But this sizing is added to the fabric as to add weight to produce a to add weight to produce the drape of the fabric. So it should not be confused with the sizing or the slashing that is done to the yarn. In sizing or starching, the fabric is immersed in a mixture, and that mixture contain waxes, oil, glycerine, and softeners to add or control fabric body. For added weight, talc, clay, or chalk may also be used, but they are often used with lower quality fabrics. Talc, clay, or chalk are used often with lower quality fabric. Gelatin is used on rayon because it gives a clear finish that enhances rayon's natural luster. Sizing adds stiffness, crispness, weight, and body to fabric. Permanency is related to the type of sizing, what type of sizing we are using, reasons or the natural, waxes, oil or gasolines, etc., and method of application, how we are applying it, we are heat setting it or not. If the sizing is resin based and heat set, it will be permanent, otherwise it will not. If the sizing is water soluble, it will be removed during washing and it may create problems for consumer. Of course, when in use, it will affect the performance characteristics. Gelatin, for example, may create water spots on rayon that are difficult to remove if condensation or other water drops onto the fabric. Sizing is most often used to add body to apparel fabrics. Add body, volume to the apparel fabric. Weighting. Weighting is another technique used to add weight and body to apparel fabrics. A metallic salt or a mineral weighting compound such as phosphate silicate or plant-based compounds are used. Three types of chemicals are used: metallic salt, mineral weighting compounds, or plant-based compounds. Some salts will bound with the fiber, so it will be durable. Other salts produce temporary surface coating, so they are temporary. Mineral weighted silk was common once, but it is rare today because weighted silks are sensitive to light damage and do not age well. With the aging, with the storage, they become brittle and even can break from the folds. Plant and metallic salts add fiber, volume, luster, and hand. Three characteristics: volume, that means weight, luster, shine, and hand, and the crispness. So, this was all about the drape finishes. Now, if you are having any questions, you may ask. Class, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
जी. No questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Aksa, you are having yesterday's any question, remaining question or not?
मैम वो आपने कहा था दूसरे नोट से पढ़ेगा वहाँ से देखा है वहाँ पर उन्होंने स्टेप बाय स्टेप बताया हुआ है
Okay. You got it now?
यस मैम
Any other question related to today's class?
मैम
That's good. Okay, students, then Allah Hafiz. Stay at home, stay safe. Allah Hafiz.